welcome to my channel. My name is Elle, and on this channel I talk about music and everything I learned in my life journey as a musician. In this video, we are going to talk about Brahms's 2 overtures. I intended to make this video for May, which should have been perfect timing because May is the month of celebrating the milestones and accomplishments of life with graduation season and Mother's Day. But I had some psychological blockage that I had to work through in order to make this video. So here we are. Brahms wrote these 2 overtures as companion pieces, meaning they are composed with the intention to complement each other. The first piece is called the Academic Festival Overture, which is composed for a graduation ceremony. And the second piece is called the Tragic Overture. Brahms actually started a very successful career before he reached the college age, so he never attended college, just like how pop stars like Justin Bieber or IU never had to attend college. However, in 1876, when Brahms was 43 years old, he had an offer from Cambridge University in England for an honorary doctorate degree. But Brahms had to turn it down because in order to receive his degree, he had to travel to England, and Brahms had this thalassophobia, which is the fear of ocean, so he couldn't get to England from Germany. Luckily, in 1880, Brahms was offered with another opportunity for an honorary doctorate degree from a German university called the University of Breslau, which he happily accepted. After accepting the offer, he soon realized that the university was unspokenly expecting him to write a piece as a thank you gift to the school. So he wrote Academic Festival Overture. This is one of the most lighthearted and humorous pieces that Brahms wrote, and rightfully so, because this is a collage of popular college drinking songs at the time that are arranged and orchestrated in Brahms's own style. In this piece, there are 4 drinking songs. The first song is this, which was a student protest song during the unification of German states. The next one is this. And the third one is this one, which is a song for a freshman initiation ceremony at frat parties. And the last one is this one, which is a traditional Latin song that was commonly associated with college life at the time. All the good graduation speeches always start with a lighthearted, humorous context, but end with some foreshadowing of difficult seasons in life and encouragement to get through those seasons. Well, Brahms did the same thing with his composition. He paired the Academic Festival Overture with the Tragic Overture. And as you can tell from the title, the Tragic Overture is about the tragic nature of life itself. The music definitely captures the mood. It starts with a striking opening that sounds like a life-shattering news hitting you from the sky like thunderlight. Throughout the piece, we experience different emotions such as anxiety, melancholy, some glimpse of hope. But at the end, it ends with frustration. Some people people suggest that this piece was inspired by Faust by Goethe because Brahms was actually commissioned for a project that's affiliated with Faust right before he composed this piece. However, Brahms made it clear that this piece was not affiliated with any specific story or event, but rather about the dark, dramatic, and tragic nature of in life in general. Actually, in this time of music history, there were two different schools of philosophy of musicians. There was Team Brahms, which promoted the absolute music, and there was Team Wagner, which promoted the programmatic music. Team Brahms believed that sound itself could convey more meaningful expressions than other forms of art such as words and image, whereas Team Wagner believed that having extra musical elements such as a storyline or imagery attached to sound could elevate the artistic value of music. So it's understandable that even if this piece was affiliated with Faust, Brahms couldn't openly admit the association between these two, because he was the leading figure of the absolute music supporters. These two pieces and their messages resonated with me a lot. The reason why I haven't been making YouTube videos for a while is because I actually went through some difficult season of my life. I applied to doctorate programs for 2021, which was not successful. And on top of that, I had numerous personal situations that arose that really broke my ego down completely. And with that personal situation going on, May was really challenging for me to be genuinely happy for other people's acceptance announcements and graduation ceremonies and relationship updates and baby photos and Mother's Day celebrations and all that stuff, which by the way should be celebrated and congratulated. And one of the ironies is that Tragic Overture was actually one of my audition pieces. So I studied this piece to the T. I listened to it all the time up until the audition. And it just felt like Tragic Overture was meant for my life, while Academic Festival Overture was meant for everyone else in the world. And at first I was really resentful about my reality and suffered deeply with frustration and disappointment. But after 2 months of intense therapy, inner work, reflection, and reconstruction of myself, I've come to realize two things. Number one is that there's the cycle of this life, which is there's up and down, or light and darkness, right? And we need to honor that cycle of life itself. And number two is the breaking down of old self is a precedent of evolving into the next version of myself. Thus, a necessary part of growth process. This means the so-called tragic events of life don't necessarily have to be bad or painful if we can manage to keep our focus and trust on the greater vision of the process. In the next video, I'll share my tips on how to get through the difficult seasons of life. Just as a sneak peek, one of the most important keys that unlocked the process for me was learning about the concept of self-compassion. Self-compassion basically means being kind to yourself and being a defender and an advocate for yourself against the negative inner voice. We tend to criticize and blame ourselves very harshly, especially when we are faced with failures or disappointments. But in reality, those are the times that we have to be the most loving and the most strong advocate of ourselves. Being a musician and being an Asian come with this cultural norm of constant inner and external criticism. And growing up in American culture, which has the motto of I gotta be the greatest, I gotta be the fastest, I gotta be the biggest, I gotta be the strongest, I gotta be the winner, I had this subconscious fear that if I'm compassionate to myself, then I'm gonna become too comfortable with where I am and I'm gonna lose out. But I realized that self-love is actually one of the most important factors of building a successful life. And self-compassion is a basic component of self-love. If you enjoyed watching this video about Brahms's 2 overtures, make sure you click the like button and share this video with your friends who might enjoy it as well. And thank you so much for spending time with me today, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!